Hi, everybody. Today we're going to talk about how love is the key to leadership. And the biggest two concepts that come with this are that you have to love those that you are leading, and you have to love what you're doing. And to start it off, I really like to start with a little anecdote from John Wooden in his book called Wooden on Leadership. He has a chapter in there called Using the Most Powerful Four-Letter Word. And in this, he essentially describes that the best model for a good leader is a good parent. And parents lead with their heart. They love their children more than themselves. They will sacrifice their own self-interest for that child's life. And so, built upon this, you get this very sacred trust in that you know that the leader will always be working for the best interest of those that they lead. And the best way to do this, and the only way to go about it, is to have unselfish love in your heart for those that are under you. And I found this to be true in my life in multiple situations, mostly through the multiple summer camps that I've worked at, and even in the full-day childcare program that I'm currently working in now. And I just found that giving those kids unselfish care and really putting their best interest first and their safety, even if they may disagree with my methods or the reason that I'm trying to tell them whatever I am, really just having that ahead of everything else is key. And the best example of this is that this past summer, I had a 13-year-old in my group, and she had a lot of issues with body image, just having social issues, anxiety about so many things, and she just didn't know how to handle them because she hadn't had the mentorship to know how to go about those problems. And so what I would do is I would just sit down with her. I would listen, and we would talk, and I would hear everything that she had to say, and I would just give her the best advice that I possibly could based upon my life experience and what I think could really help her in that moment. And granted, at those times that I sat down and talked with her, I could have been doing other parts of my job. I could have just been completing tasks to get out of work sooner or just to go home and have time to myself. But what I did was I took my time, my effort, just to give her a little bit of love that day and all those days that we had those conversations, because having love for those that you're leading is everything. And through that, she had a so much deeper trust for what I had to say and what I had to do as her leader at the time. And she was actually even able to go on and advise other people and learn how to handle new situations in her life better, just because I showed her that little bit of love to care about what she's going through and what I can do to make her life better. And now the second concept that I want to talk about is loving what you do. And Steve Jobs really puts this the best way possible, is that the only way to do great work is to love what you do. And this is a very different idea from doing what you love. And I'm sure everyone's heard that all throughout their life, especially when it comes to finding a career and playing what sport you want to do and just really everything. Everyone gives that piece of advice of do what you love, but this is very different. Doing what you love is searching out for something that you believe you love, which in reality can end up making you feel like you fell short if you're not there, or you're wasting time if you're not exactly doing this one thing you set your mind to on. Is that what you love? So the idea of loving what you do is built upon finding meaning and purpose in whatever job you have, whatever life position you're in, and especially whatever leadership position you're in. Because in order to lead people and actually find success with them, you have to find a way to love what you're doing. And the best example of this comes in sports. You will have coaches who come in just to punch their timesheet and they teach the basic X's and O's, maybe try to squeeze out a couple wins, and then just kind of go home taking on the paycheck from coaching the sport that they may know very well, but they're not really loving what they're doing, where the best coaches are the ones that can find a way to do that. They find that love in the preparation for each game. They find that love in talking to their athletes about so much more than the game, so much more than just, all right, this is what I'm going to do on the court, on the field. It's about life and finding a reason to go and do that job every single day. And in doing that, that first coach is going to leave his players behind. Those players are going to see someone who's just there to do a job. They're going to have this idea that their sport and the thing that they're so passionate about is just a job. That's just all it is. And so those players aren't going to learn to love what they're doing, and they will never see how to love what they're doing at any other point in their life. Where that coach that is loving what they're doing and being that transformational coach as compared to that transactional coach, he's going to have his athletes who buy in to whatever they're doing. He's going to have the athletes that learn to love what they're doing and put all of their passion into it. And they're going to be able to go on and lead other people in that same way, as well as continue to carry that characteristic throughout the rest of their life. And so at the end of the day, you have to be able to find a way to love what you do. Even if it's not your highest dreams, it's not your dream job, not your biggest goals, you're not setting those yet, you have to love what you're doing at the time in order to be able to lead those under you successfully. And so, at the end of the day, the biggest two things you just have to remember to do is always, always, always give love to those that you're leading and to love what you do. Thank you.